On today's episode of the Command Center podcast, you have to keep your composure. We have to keep our composure.
Yes.
We talk about what Dan Quinn said, how he's going to
Yes.
fix some of these problems, and how he's already started fixing them. We had the scrimmage. That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was great.
Great energy. Talk about what we saw there. And then it is the season. It's fantasy football season. We got sleepers and studs. It all starts right now. Welcome to the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulson here with Santana Moss and Fred Smoot. It is I, man. Again, I love it.
It is I.
And before we get into the show, we got a housekeeping thing to take care of.
Yep.
I, Logan Paulson, speaking of This Is I, am on Twitter, X, at Logan Paulson NFL.
Ex-Logan.
And I didn't want to do it, but
He's back.
I was convinced when we were up in New England to do it.
Welcome to the 20th century. I'm happy that you got on Twitter. No, I'm sorry. X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, good to see you. Good for you to be amongst the people.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people have reached out and say congratulations. We're excited, but everybody has been like, Twitter's a terrible spot to be.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it got its good parts and its bad
Yeah.
parts. Now, it's all about what do you pay attention to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't respond to jerks.
Yeah.
So, therefore, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
My last tweet was I'm chilling. Like
When did you tweet that? Is that
probably
like
in 2012.
while you were still playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a thing. Give us a follow. Anna, Caroline, Jason, they all kind of help me run it, so it's like a team effort here. So you're
Yeah.
supporting the Command Center podcast by giving us a follow. All right, you guys. I was going to say we did it, but really you did it.
You did it for us.
People's Choice Podcast nomination. We made it. We're in. We're up against New Heights, which is the
Still
Travis
competition.
Kelce.
The Kelce's brothers.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to go against the Kelce brothers. And evidently we kind of scared them because they had to pull out the big gun.
Who's the big gun? What's the big gun?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
They're having her on the
herself.
show.
They're going to have her on the podcast so they can try to one-up us.
That's not
I
fair.
think we should try to get like Matthew McConaughey or somebody.
Yeah.
One-up them.
That's not a bad idea. He's a big
Not a
fan.
Well,
bad idea
I think when it comes to celebrity fans, we might have the best group. Considering Matthew McConaughey, Daryl Earnhardt.
I was going to say, Daryl told me to hit him up, too. I'm going to have to go pull that card out, man.
You need to pull out the Earnhardt
I just
card.
did an interview with him a couple of weeks ago.
And then John Bernthal was here yesterday.
Barnthal here was yesterday,
Yeah.
the Punisher. We might have the best celebrity fan group.
Kevin Durant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we got Durant. Yeah,
It's always crazy seeing him on the sideline because you don't realize
So
how
tall.
big he is. Yeah, he's so
he's
tall.
7 feet tall.
He's so tall. Yeah, so make sure you keep supporting us. You guys did it. I mean, we kind of told you in the 12th hour. You guys made it happen. Voted, got us in. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Now you can also show your support at the live show at the Muni, August 22nd at 8 p.m. Make sure you come check it out because the Muni is a really cool venue.
No,
They've
it
got-
is. It's like no other venue you'll
Nice
probably
environment, too.
Yeah, they got like it's a golf. They got like virtual
golf
stuff. They got
simulators,
a nice bar.
all kind of whatever you can think about as a bar game.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you come out. Make sure you come early because we're expecting a lot of people to come. Again, you can start the NFL season off with us this year. So let's do that. It'd be great to see you guys out there. Now, the most important one, we say it every time, is get your Commanders tickets right now using the QR code.
Right there.
Or if you don't like doing that,
Yeah.
you can use the link in the description. That really helps us out a lot. It helps
It
us out
does.
because
It
it shows
does.
how many people are watching the show, how many people are called to action from the show. So
It keeps the show going.
yeah, thank you, Fred. There, you said it way more succinctly than I could. So, I'm on Twitter. People's Choice Podcast nomination. You guys did it. Thank you so much. Live show at the Muni, August 22nd, and the tickets. That's the most important one.
Yeah,
Get your
most
tickets.
definitely.
All right.
Good job, by the way.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun, and we're getting more stuff to talk about, which is good. More people interested in the show.
Yeah.
All right. So now. We have to keep our composure. We have to keep our composure. Been getting a lot of
panic, man.
Yeah, a lot of messages. A lot of
A
people
lot of
asking
panicking
about the
I
preseason.
can't believe we didn't dress 30 people and got beat like that. Let me tell you something. 2 coaches, 2 different approaches. One coach is laying the foundation of a new coaching regime. Like Mike Vrabel wants to win every game that team plays, no matter if it's preseason, scrimmage, or regular game.
And stop me if I'm wrong, but also like I don't think you want to lose the game.
No one wants to lose. You just
But like the one that Tom Brady's getting the statue at.
yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think you got
A 12-foot statue.
like you don't want to come out and have
Yes.
Tom Brady maybe the most
Decorated quarterback of all time.
decorated
Iconic
Patriot of all
Patriot,
time, and come out and just
Lay an egg.
in preseason.
Yeah, no, it meant it, like I said, different approaches
Yes.
for 2 different coaches. Now, did Coach like seeing what happened? No.
Yeah, I was
Coach
gonna say
Quinn
that.
did not like seeing what happened. but also he understands the true overall picture of everything.
Yeah, everybody has the same objective, I think, when it comes to these preseason games. You want to get some good work in, but you want to win. Everybody wants to win, but it's not a big emphasis of trying to do so by putting guys in there that you don't want to see at that moment. So, if we're going to play with our fourth string, third string, and second string, if we can't be productive, then we have to get back to the drawing board the next week and try to pull a little more out of them. But I'm not going to go go all out just for a preseason game unless it's the game that I know that I want to dress rehearsal.
The game that you play your veteran.
No doubt.
And you guys know I coach high school football. Right?
Yep, you do.
And it's very different. Obviously, the stakes are very different. But we have scrimmages before the season starts.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons you do scrimmages is to make sure that the guys are playing clean football. They know what's going on, separate from the coaches. And I think you'd rather have something like this happen now, where we can address it. Could you imagine if they waited?
But like I told you, I'm not mad at the team because when I see Drake May and Trayvon Henderson and Stephon Diggs, all their first screen guys out there going against our second screen guys, I understand then what's going on and how they're going about it. So I'm not as high strung as everybody. I'm not, but I'm not gonna say it's 0 on my Richter scale.
No.
But I also understand, like you said, now we get to go back to the drawing board. Now we get to say, all right, we need to be more physical. Yeah. Right? That game showed us we need to be more physical, and that's what they addressed during the scrimmage.
Well, I'm glad you said it that way, Fred, because two things can be true at once. And I think our head coach really encapsulates what that means, right? He can be upset, but he can also keep his composure, right? Yeah. And I think he said as much, right? He kind of was basically saying he was really frustrated with the result, with the performance, but he's not gonna outwardly freak out.
For what?
Because there's things to work on.
Yeah.
So
and that's what you use those games for. I don't need to know my strengths. I need to know my weaknesses. Yeah. And if my weaknesses have to be my third screen, just for say linebacker or something, I need to know that now. Yeah. Right? So I can do some roster building. This is about information. That's what the preseason is about. Information. Information on physicality, information on players, information on every little tidbit you can get.
I think you hit it on the head with just, you learned a lot from that game. You learned that, hey, okay, I assume that every man just being in our practice will go out there and perform how we've constructed practices, and boom, they put stuff on tape that wasn't good. Yeah. And that's why you have a practice like we had today, and that's why you have the week like we have this week. So you learn a lot about your team. You saw a couple of guys got let go right after that game because you getting the chance to put stuff on tape. That's why we always have that saying, make sure you put good, stuff what on tape.
Eyes sky don't lie.
But Tenny, you've said something like this before, where it's basically you've seen guys ball out in practice, but they've never been able to figure it out in the
translate it to a game.
Yeah. And so I think about a guy that comes to mind is Troy Apke. I mean, every time on the practice field he looked amazing. Yeah. But then for whatever reason in the game, it never quite clicked.
That's when guys allow the pressure to get a hold of them. Sometimes the pressure takes over. Yeah. And what made us be able to be where we was at for so long was because we understood the pressure was getting here. The pressure was going out there performing every day. The pressure was being consistent with it. Yeah. Come game time, it should be fun. Yeah. This is fun. I was just talking to your guy Lane and Jalen, and he hit me up. He like, hey man, Jalen. I'm like, no, trust me, I know who you are. This is our first time, having this, kind of conversation, and I want to let you know I'm in your corner, not because of what your talent shows, but what you show here. Yeah. When you're a rookie and you're able to absorb what he's absorbing, at every wide receiver position, then you got to go out there special teams wise. That's big, bro. And you can go out there and be productive while doing so, man, you're going to have a long career.
Let me tell you somebody that's the true example of what y'all were just talking about. Taylor Jacobs, the receiver we drafted from Florida. Yeah. Me and Champ, we applauded the wide receiver coach. We told him, great pick. We went head-to-head with Taylor Jacobs every day, and he was giving me and Champ fits. Right? Fits. But he could never translate it to the game. Yeah. And he would get in the game, and I'd be like, why ain't you giving him the business like you were giving us? Yeah. And I don't know if it's a stage fright thing. Yeah. I don't know, but everybody can't translate from practice to the game.
Yeah, he was here when I got here in 05 when you had just left, and my mouth used to be on the ground watching him. Yes. Because I'm like, if he knows what I see and what I know about him, yes, it would be me and him out there killing people together. You know what I mean? He was that talented and big and fast.
He was so strong.
I ran the slip screen in I think against Kansas City for 80. Outran their whole team. He shows up in the picture. You caught me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, did he just catch up with me?
Yeah.
And I'm not this, bro. The guy was an athlete.
Man, athlete,
What
man.
was the deal? Why did it?
It just didn't translate,
It
man.
just
I mean,
didn't translate.
it's one of those things where you would see it. He flashed in games too. It'll be a play or two like, ooh, you saw that catch, ooh, and then it'd be like the next play you gonna raise that.
Where you at?
So
What you doing?
to his credit, man, like, you know, you never know. You never know if people dealing with anxiety. You don't know what people dealing with. So I never really, you know,
Asked him,
him, you know, what it was, because he spoken out to me about it. He's like, man, Tanner, you know, what is it I need to do? And I'm like, damn, he's searching. You know what I mean? You can tell that he's young enough to know that I'm not doing it consistently enough. And I used to give him what I thought that would be helpful for him, but you know, to each man, you got to go out there and
Figure it out.
find out on your own. But man, he was so talented and gifted.
So
bro.
talented.
You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Brian Arakpo. Brian Arakpo was a great player. You know, 10 sacks, multiple sack seasons. Like, I'm not saying that, but in practice, he would literally be unblockable at times because he would do this like crazy power inside move. And I was like, man, he should do this in the game because no one, like, the tackles can't block it, I can't block it.
Yeah.
And then you go to the game and he wouldn't do it. And I was like, man, why are you doing that? He's like, well, I feel I get worried that I'm going to be out of my gap. So he felt comfortable enough to do it in practice, but not comfortable to do it in a game. And I feel like there's some receivers that I've played with that'll throw a sick move in practice, but they get worried about doing it in the games. And again, back to the preseason, like, this is why you got to
you play. Yeah,
you got to throw him out there, right? Because like you mentioned, Dominique Hampton kind of tangentially, like he looked great out here, but then he got on the field when the bullets were real, had to take on blocks,
And physicality was not there.
and just wasn't quite there. And so again, like, I'd rather make that decision now. And again, like, no one feels worse for him than we do. Because we know how hard it is to give up that dream and kind of be on the street right now. But the team needs to come first. And they made the decision based on information
that they got
from this
in the
game.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'd say, like, you got to have these moments. Sometimes it's got to be a little bit sticky and gross and not quite perfect so you can make corrections.
This is the icky part of football that nobody likes to talk about. These are the unsavory parts of football, is figuring out who, what, and when. And when you're figuring out the who, you got to realize it's 90 guys out here. They're who gonna have to turn to 53 guys.
Yeah.
And the only way to get it there is to sometime let guys kind of take themselves out the picture.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things. What people fail to realize is that no matter how good you are, if it's just a couple of guys better, you gonna be finding yourself a new job or a new team. And we've seen plenty of people like that. We've seen plenty of guys that come into this league that, bro, they just killed college. You know, and then they get here.
Wasn't even a challenge.
And they didn't look different. They look the same, but it's just a guy that just that much better, that much sharper, that much smarter, that much on time.
Work hard.
It's more than just being a football player on this level. It's more than just being, you know, an outstanding athlete. You have to understand how to conduct yourself as a pro. You got to know. You got to know how to, like I keep saying, absorb the stuff, the information that's coming to you in those meeting rooms. And then outside of that, it's about how you living. You see what I'm saying? How your body gonna hold up because of, you know, how you living, things of that nature. So it's a huge task being a pro, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, one of the other things that comes out of the game is that there's problems, but then I think you hear Dan talking about solutions. You know what I mean? So the first thing that comes to mind is like the score, right? And Dan said, if you get your ass kicked and we're in the fight the whole time, I can live with that. I think we all can live with that, right?
Yeah.
I can live with almost any result when you put it all out there and do it right.
Yeah.
But when it's sloppy and not to the standards, man, that burns my ass. So I think, like, that's cool to me for two reasons.
Yeah.
One, I think it's process driven by the coach.
Yep.
Meaning, like, I don't really care about the result as long as the process,
As long as the effort is there.
And our effort is there.
Yeah.
But if the effort's out there, like, we gotta work that. We gotta make that better. We gotta make sure everybody shows up. And that's one thing about the preseason I always think is interesting, because you got a bunch of guys, new guys, young guys playing in a game who aren't really indoctrinated into the culture 100%, but you are, as a coach, have the expectation that they hold that same standard. You know what I mean?
Well, I think coaches, it really chaps them.
Chaps them.
It chaps them when the things that come for free, we don't do it as athletes.
Dude.
And effort is for free.
Yeah.
You don't need any degree. You don't need nothing. I don't need to run a 4.3 to get effort. All I need to do is make my mind up and go 100% miles per hour.
Yeah.
The things that come free, I think it really bothers coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I've always noted that. So I tried to make sure the things that come free, I'm gonna do them at a high level.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've always told myself, and it's crazy how it translated through every level. But I was always tell myself, mindful of every play, when it's down, when your play, when your rep. And I tell my kids that. I told my younger brothers that. And they don't understand it. They might not understand the process like I did, but I was just saying to myself, if I win this down, that's one I'm stacking. Yeah. If I do the next time, that's two I'm stacking. Yeah. The more you stack up, and then think about it, you're not going to win every down.
You're not. Ain't no such thing.
You're not. But if you stack up more than the next guy, then you stand out. And so before you know it, you consistently going and doing that, and that what makes you consistent. That what makes you a top tier player. That what makes you a guy that they're gonna lean on.
Depend on. They got to depend on you now.
So that's what it's about, and that's what chaps these coaches when they see a guy like the effort ain't the same from that down to that down. Like, bro, what just happened? I just saw you make a play, and then now you disappear. Yeah. So if they kind of remind themselves, like every time I'm on this field, I have to win my down. And like I said before, you're not gonna win them all, but if I'm showing that effort that I'm trying to win it, and that man just was that better than me that down, I can live with that. Yeah. I can live with the results.
Yeah, I think that's it's cool listening to you talk about that, Tana, because it's like a free psychology lesson on what it takes to be an NFL player, right? Yeah. It's like, it's not, I'm not running a marathon. I'm running to the light post.
Right now.
I'm running the light post. Yeah. I'm going to the next thing. The next thing, it's like climbing Mount Everest. You don't do it by jumping to the top. You do it one step at a time.
One step at a time.
And when you break down a game that way, when you break down a practice that way, that's extremely important. So for those young players out there listening, like, that's awesome advice. And I think about the young players on this roster that played on Friday night, and I wonder how many of them have that process, and like how this is a good opportunity to work the drill a little bit. Work that process.
I say, just because you didn't have that process don't mean tomorrow you can't have it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just being mindful.
Some of them need to be told sometime too. You know what I mean?
You got to be mindful of the privilege to play in this league. Like, it's a privilege to practice. It's a privilege to play. It's a dream these guys are living their dream.
Yeah.
And I think all us know the harsh reality of it is everybody won't get to continue to live this dream. Mm-hmm. But if I'm going to get cut, I'm going to get cut going 110 miles per hour.
Yeah. Like so after I retired, the Falcons called me in to talk to some rookie tight ends. And I basically said to them, like, exactly what you're saying. Tana, what you're saying too. It's like, how many people would kill to be in your shoes? Yeah. Like, how many people would just die to be here where you're sitting right now? And it was like in the middle of training camp. And then I was like, and all you got to do is show up on time and study your playbook. Yeah. You don't have to kill anybody. You don't have to do anything. Like, you're in the door. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you got to do those little things the right way to make sure you're on the roster and make sure that they can't cut you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, handle all those little details, right? But the other thing, too, that I like about this quote from Dan is he obviously recognizes there's an issue. Like, there's other coaching staffs we've covered where they've been like, oh, we're not that worried about it. It's not a big deal. But he's like, first thing he says, like, it bothers me. Yeah. It bothers me that we didn't hit the standard.
That's one of the things that was asked of me before the game even started. I'm at the MGM. I'm at Bet Lounge watching the game, and first thing someone come on, hey, Ten, how you doing, man? How you feeling about the game? And I'm like, well, it's the preseason. But the thing I look at, regardless of what game it is how you're fighting, how competitive are we? Yeah. Are we as a team? And when that first kickoff went out the gate, I was like, see, this right here, this is what I don't like, because we was one of the best kickoff teams in the league last year. Yeah. And the only way, regardless of who out there playing, like we understand to a man who wasn't playing, but we're a unit. We're together. Yeah. Just because I didn't put Fred in the game, the guy behind Fred should be able to emulate what Fred would have done. Yeah. And vice versa. And so when you don't see that from the core of guys, like you said, that's when Dan knew, hey, you know what, I can't accept this, regardless of what kind of game it is, because I don't teach this. From day one, we have a different approach about it. We have a way of playing this game.
And I think what really chapped them is they were just more physical than us. Yeah. And that's a choice.
And it wasn't like that during the practice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not during the practice. But so I think Coach feel like guys turned it on and turned it off. And I think that really did him, because, Coach, he wanted one speed, and I want it all the time. Like I always tell, don't tempt me with a good time, because if this is what you're going to show me that every down, every play. And I think that what really got on the coach's skin.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that kind of came out of the game was the penalties. And Dan said all three phases I thought was sloppy tonight. We had 13 penalties. They stacked and showed sloppiness to me. And the practice was just the opposite. You know how I feel about penalties, and that does not make me happy. So, again, like, it's one of those things where you say, oh, it's young guys. Like, he could easily be like, oh, it's a bunch of young guys out there.
No excuses.
No, and he's unhappy. And I think the other thing I appreciate about Dan, Cliff when you talk to him, Joe Witt Jr. when you talk to him, Adam, if we sometimes we talk to him before the game. Like those guys are so competitive.
Yeah.
So competitive. Like I remember last year I talked to Adam for like 5 seconds after the preseason game. They lost on like a last second play. I forget exactly what happened. And he was like, and I said, oh, hey, the roster looks good. He's like, and he was so mad that they lost a preseason game.
Yeah.
So for people to say that's not important to them,
yeah,
it's just unrealistic. Like they care about this so
every little thing
much.
Yeah.
And so like for Dan, I think it like you know how he wants to get down. He wants clean, competitive, tough football. Like he said that from day one.
They're on fire.
Yeah. And so again, like for fans that think he's unbothered by it, I think that's not fair to Dan.
Yes, that's a lie.
Yeah. All right. And then the other one is ineffective and inefficient play. And Dan said, we can control our play style, and I'm certain that'll look different. So that's what you were saying.
Ineffective. When you say the word ineffective, to me, when I close my eyes and see that word, to me that means if a coach say, Fred, you was ineffective, that means I did nothing right.
Yeah, you didn't make a play.
I'm talking about I did nothing
that
right.
like cuts me hearing that
Like,
word.
Yes.
That's like why you played.
Yeah.
Like put that uniform on.
Like what was you thinking today? Like it's like it's almost one of the worst things you can say to a player.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and you know what? I don't think I got beaten in a long time, so I'm giving you a warning. It's almost, and I'm gonna be mindful of my words, my verbiage, my language. It's almost like.
Hey man, this dude right here.
I don't even talk to Jason. There's
know Jason
no
gonna
way.
cut it out.
There's no way that makes.
Well, if y'all don't hear it, if y'all didn't get to hear it, y'all see us laughing. I said something that was crazy.
You know what? You was ineffective.
I'm finna go for a bike ride.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later. Okay.
How about I try tomorrow?
Hey, no.
But in terms of taking steps to fix it, I thought, this week on Tuesday they had something that I thought was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Atlanta, Dan used to do like an inter-squad scrimmage. It was like the red and black teams.
Yeah.
And he'd split the rosters up and you'd have a competitive day. And I thought, he had this on the schedule since last week. So it wasn't like they did it because of
It
the
wasn't
loss.
reactionary.
Right, but I think it allows you in this scrimmage to emphasize things that you want to emphasize.
Yeah.
It says, hey, we had refs out there. And at the beginning, Fred and Tana, they were throwing a lot of flags.
Yeah.
Right? They were obviously emphasizing, let's play cleaner football here. I'm not going to let you slide with this stuff. So that's an easy thing. We worked on thudding. It was a competitive thud, tackle to the ground type period. Mike Sanderstill, holy cow, boy.
He thought a little bit.
Listen, he not scared to swap paint.
Yeah.
Dude, he was like him and B-Rob hit helmets a couple times. He had a really physical tackle on Luke
But that's
McCaffrey.
also telling you he's in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Like he knows where to be at. He knows how to read. He knows how to react. He knows formational. Like he knows how people trying to attack him, especially in the inside. He understands the game of football.
Yeah, and so like so I think like taking steps to overcome some of this, like the penalties, the inefficient play, right, the ineffective play. Like this is a great opportunity to kind of say, hey, let's refocus, let's reemphasize. And the other thing that I think is really important to remember is how exciting were the guys that practiced today.
Yeah, they was juice.
Yeah, they was juice.
Split guys up. I mean, I've had practices like that on the college level where it's not just the defense against the offense.
No, it's us against
you know
y'all.
What? I'm gonna get a defensive white jerseys over there and an offensive white jersey, and I'm gonna put a defensive. So now you actually guys that you normally on the field with, you're actually competing against them.
Yeah.
And whether you're an offensive guy, defensive guy, that gives you a little more. That brings
A little edge,
something
a little
more
edge.
to the practice.
Yeah.
And it's one thing having the refs out there. So now it's actually being conducted like we in another,
scrimmage game,
preseason game / scrimmage. So I love that because the first thing I saw when I saw 54 and 6 getting at it, I'm like, hold on, you on the same side.
Yeah.
And I said, oh no, y'all got different jerseys on.
Yeah.
So that shows you, man, like right now I'm for these guys over here. And if you do something wrong, I'm gonna call you out on it.
And it was also cool to see like different relationships, like Bobby and Kane Madrano on the field together.
Yeah.
And so talk about like the mentorship he's going to get from that. Like instead of him having to call the defense, Kane, Bobby's like, hey, young fella.
I got it.
Not to change the subject, but I had to bring this up because we hadn't talked about it yet. he flashed a lot the
He
past
flashed,
week.
man.
Yeah.
Like he was stepping in there and he was spilling it to other guys and they just wasn't there. But I was like, bro, that's
Well,
a
put it
bright.
like this. He wasn't always at the right spot at the right time.
Yes, we know
but
that.
he was going there at 100
100 miles and running.
100
miles and running.
out. And coaches never care
Yeah.
if you blow an assignment
I can
at
teach.
100
I can
miles.
teach you where to be at. I need that effort every time.
So there was a play, they ran that kind of motion down, crack the linebacker,
Yeah.
crack the end, pull the tackle play with the fullback leading. They probably ran it
3-4
5 times,
times, yeah.
and they ran it once to the right, and Trey Amos made the tackle. And so our guy Kane is getting cracked, and he looks over like the Terminator, and this receiver's trying to come put some work on him.
Yeah.
Helmet under the chin, receiver buckles back, he steps on this man's chest, bow,
Yes.
and then goes and he didn't make the tackle, but he's right there. And so again, like he didn't make the play, but that's
But, yeah.
something you can coach.
That's what
Yes.
That's something you're like, you might not know what to do,
Yeah.
but you are going to go there crazy.
That's what I want to
fast.
see from my young fellas.
That was the big thing on him coming out of school was how physical could he be at the next
Yeah.
level. Like
He
they knew
was
he was a hell of an
tackling-wise,
athlete.
yeah.
They knew he was very athletic. He showed because being physical is just being willing.
Yeah.
Like, are you willing to stick it in there? And he showed that he was willing to stick it in there
Stick it-
time and time again.
And like I'm talking like hands extended, throwing guards to the ground,
Yeah.
spilling guys like Tanner said. Like again, was it always right? Probably not. But
Yeah.
was it fast, aggressive, physical? Was it
Yes.
Commanders football?
Yeah.
I think so. And I think that's
doubt.
why you see him maybe moving up the depth chart a little bit,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
Wouldn't shock me at all.
So anything else? So the other thing I want to bring up to you guys is like this scrimmage I think comes at a really good time because what is this day like 10,
Yeah.
11 of training camp?
You know, like after day like 7.
Yeah, they're
it
all
just,
the same.
It's just monotony. It's just the same thing. Oh, it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And it's Groundhog Day with your body going through these ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good this day. I'm drained this day. I'm bouncing back this day. And it become repetitive. And that's why I think something like this scrimmage was good for today because it changes the whole practice schedule. It gets them mindfully thinking
Yeah,
about a
something
whole
different.
different thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something different.
Definitely something different, something fun. I mean, when you're going through the regular ups and downs of practice, going through different periods, that's a drag sometimes, especially in training camp.
Yeah.
So now when I get out here, I know all I gotta do is just go hard in this scrimmage, lineman assignment, do my make a play or two. It gives you, like I said, it gives you a different. It's almost like a different vibe because now you don't have to go through the worries of I got this period next. I'm waiting for the whistle. I got to run over here and go to this period. No, I'm right here on the field. I can go out here and be productive.
Yeah, and again, like just watching practice, like that was one of my major takeaways. Is like dudes are hooting and hollering, and like it just feels different.
It felt electric.
Yeah.
It felt electric on a day that usually everybody just trying to make it.
Trying to make it. right?
Everybody just trying to make it.
We got the preseason game coming up. We got to push it through. Like,
Yeah.
100% get that. Anything else you guys noticed from the practice today that you wanted to bring up?
I like the fact that what happened after practice, just the food trucks
Oh.
and everything. Man.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a family day today.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching this stuff, watching these guys pack up, and I see that we got a chance to partake in it too, man. That gives another something
Yeah.
special to look forward to, man. Hey, after we have a nice, hard practice, we can go out here and enjoy some of this. Some of this food off this food
It's
truck.
just outside of the box. I can't thank this ownership group enough for just the presence they've brought, the understanding on how to get things done. It's just being handled different, man. Every time we look up, we got new surprises. Every time we look around.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one observation for me for practice was just how good that second offensive line looked. And we didn't talk about them from the preseason game.
Yeah.
But I thought like Chris Paul, Josh Connolly was with that group. He was with the ones today. But like those guys deserve a shout out. Trent Scott.
Yeah, Trent
they had
Scott did a great
They had
job.
pretty good preseason games. They look good out here today. Like Felton was running the football a little bit today.
Felton broke some plays out there.
JCJ also looked good in that first preseason game.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Dude.
did some things in the run game and the pass game. I mean, one time he was a guy. I forgot the guy's name is who break all the plays down for NFL Network. He had the same distinctive voice that you always hear. Hey, look at this guy right here. This guy here is he's also a former ball player. I think he played
Bucky
O-line
Brooks?
or something like that.
Oh,
I think of his name, but
Yeah.
he broke JCJ down, bro, and he's saying, look at this rookie and how he plays and pass protection.
Yeah.
Look, he was pulling on one play.
Yeah.
He knocked out. He had the whole about this big, at one time, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, see, I didn't get a chance to see it live,
Yeah.
but it's great to see it now when somebody break it down.
yeah. And so why don't we move on to our next segment, which is fantasy football, sleepers and studs for the Commanders. And
Sleepers and studs.
And
Dun, dun, dun.
you already kind of talked about, I think, one of the sleepers with Bill, right?
J.C. Merritt,
Like
yep.
you feel good about him. You were just talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to one of my homeboys that wore that special number 32, like Bills win, and he was impressed. He was impressed not only because of how hard and aggressive he was to attack with the ball, but some of the things he saw backside and his vision, where his vision was at. One time he hit the hole, he olayed the guy. I'm not sure if you want to keep doing that with the ball in his hand. He olayed him, and as he was putting his foot in the ground, he made this one guy that was right here miss, and then got skinny because he saw the other guy. Like, where your eyes at? Like, how you saw that? You know what I mean? Because you're going too fast. Things are happening, so fast out there. But he saw all that within that play at that given time. So he has a bright future, bro. If we can see him, I guess you can say, develop every week in this preseason and to the regular season, hey, the sky's the limit, man.
He's an interesting guy to watch because it's almost like, at least in this market, it feels like he's not even like a sleeper anymore. Because he's just getting better.
Right about
you know what I'm saying? Like, people are so excited about it.
He flashes so much.
Yeah.
And he flashed when the crowd was here. He's flashed in the preseason games. He flashed so much. But my sleeper, because of the first two guys are going to just attract so much attention, I'm going to say McCaffrey. McCaffrey is my sleeper. I think his opportunities are going to open up because when they look down and say, here go the matchup, they matching up this guy with this guy, this guy with this guy, his matchup going to lean towards him winning more often. And I think he will. Like, if he can get 35, 40 catches this year.
I mean, that would be amazing.
That'll be amazing to me.
Amazing.
That would be amazing. Yeah, maybe he is a sleeper. And for me, I'm going to kind of cheat. In fantasy football, you need a defense, right?
Yeah, you got to have a defense.
So I'm going to go Washington Commanders defense.
That is cheap.
I don't know if anybody's been talking about them.
Yeah.
Like,
no, because of what happened last year.
but when you watch them at camp, like when you watch the scrimmage, man, like they are rip-roaring, ready to go.
Phenomenal.
They are frothing at the mouth, man. They're in tight man coverage. The pass rush is getting home. They're rushing together as a group. I mean, I get excited for football and nerdy stuff, but I am so excited for Monday night to watch them go against Cincinnati. I cannot wait to watch Tramos.
I think it's a great litmus test. I think it's a great litmus test of where this team is right now.
Yeah, and so Tana, like you were watching that scrimmage today. We were talking about it.
Man, I was so enthused by watching just the cornerback play alone. Just the secondary alone looked like a totally different secondary from a year ago.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it is. There's only two guys
You're
back.
right. And when you see, like you said, when you get a chance to see a guy in Sanders still there, we saw how dominant he was wherever they put him on the field last year. But now he's back somewhere where he's comfortable.
Yeah.
And that he knows it like the back of his hand. Man, that's why he was all around thudding everybody, because he was just playing freely.
So he was
because he knew he didn't have that. His responsibility was he was so locked in on what his job was, man. He can go out there and do what he did, exhaust some of that energy. And that's what stood out to me. When you see Trey Amos, like, you almost forget he's a rookie.
Yeah.
I'm watching him use his hands. I'm watching him open up. I'm like, I've been asking him for a guy to press a guy all last year. I mean, and which they have. But, everybody wasn't doing the same thing. Everybody wasn't doing the same thing. So when you see Trey Amos on one side, Lattimore on the other side, Sanders still put his hand on, then you put Ikmanagi in there, then you say, I got Will. I could put Will down here and cover.
Will Harris can play anywhere.
You got Quan Martin back there playing like Ed Reed back there with that number 20 on. Like, man, look, the secondary must improve.
Yeah.
Must improve. I can't wait to see how that affects what we do up front. Because
it affects everything.
That's what I'm saying. If you covering, if you locked in, that's more sacks for us up front.
But that being said, though, too, like today at practice, like watching Duran and Kinlaw just penetrate the backfield against some good football players.
Yeah, watching Frankie Louvu.
Dude, he had a great day today.
Yeah.
He had a great day today.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like that. So that's maybe my sleeper right now going into the season. Like if they can play even 60% as good as this, like they're going to be an outstanding defense this year. Another one, just quick shout out, would be Deebo Samuel. I mean,
All right.
like, especially when everyone gets back and gets healthy, like he just seems like a guy.
This is what I can say about Deebo. He shocked me as much as he's running past people.
Yeah.
He never really got props for doing that.
Yeah.
I just seen him run past a couple people today because JD5 overthrew him by that much early today.
Oh, that's right.
I think that was on a third and long, right?
It was a fourth and long. Yeah.
He ran a seam.
Yeah.
And it was nice win, beat the man coverage, but again,
had about 5 steps on the guy.
that's what Joe Wood Jr. wants. So he wants high variance, right?
Yeah.
We're going to create pressure. We're going to force an errant throw. You got to be perfect. And Jaden, unfortunately, wasn't on that specific play, but I think he's the guy that deserves a shout out as a sleeper potential. Because if you can get back to that, what was that year? What was that? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Where he had 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
Like, and playing running back and doing the whole thing. Like,
They're just unstoppable.
unstoppable. That's exactly right. So now let's get into studs. Who's going to be a stud this year for the Commander? And can we before we start going, I'm going to say Jaden Daniels,
Stud.
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 Unquestionably a stud.
Delicious.
So
Stud.
besides Jaden Daniels,
Zach Ertz.
Tunson.
both those, high five for both of you guys. That was great. Good. Dude, Tunsil is a man child, man.
Yeah.
He's a like
He's a man eater.
Dude, he reminds me so much of
Pause.
Trent. He reminds me so much of Trent Williams. Just in terms of how he
I had to say pause.
No, I got you. I respect it. I respect it. We can't take you anywhere, though. Everyone thinks Fred's the one. You're the one.
No, it's him.
I'm like Zen over here. You know what I mean? All I want is peace.
I said Zach Ertz because him and JD5 connection. It's like if JD5 can't find nobody else, if all this fails, I'm throwing it to Zach Ertz.
You could like throw it to him in the dark, man.
You know
That's what it feels like.
And that's
sometimes.
trouble because, you got to think about it. Like, just think about you in year, I don't know, this might be 14 or 15, 14 for Zach. Just think about it, though. As an older guy that knows what he knows about the game, you know how that looks for him. And then to have a pinpoint accurate passer to get you the ball when he's saying, like, I'm in trouble. I need somebody to make a play.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like taking from a baby. It's like stealing out there.
It's stealing.
And that's why he was always open last year, because he knew they wasn't going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's Zach Ertz. Like, oh, that's Zach Ertz, but that's not.
It's
we
the
ain't
old version.
We ain't got to worry about him.
Yeah.
And guess what? You're wrong. Here you go.
Dude, him and Will Harris had an absolute war today.
War daddies.
Dude, it
back
was
and forth.
great to talk about. Just one of those fun matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Man coverage, who's gonna win? Jaden's trying to get him the ball. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to see. So you said Laramie, love that one.
Yep.
Zach
Ertz.
love that one. And I don't know. Are there any
You
others?
going B-Rob?
Studs?
Defense.
Defense. We said the defense, but that was a sleeper, right?
But I say, when you go sleepers and stud, mostly it's offense.
Yeah.
Mostly
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
offense.
It's mostly offense. We kind of had to say, yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to
A
think about
healthy
it.
Eckler. A healthy
Dude, I like
Austin
that one.
Eckler.
I like that one because he's got so much juice.
He got juice.
He's got juice, man, and I love watching him. So I think that maybe that's good. That's Laramie, Zach, Austin Eckler. I think those guys are all studs and have been studs, and obviously Jaden Daniels.
No doubt.
Easy work. Jason, you've been taking a nap back there after that food truck
undeniably.
coma you had.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Those street tacos were good, guys. So I have like a mini surprise segment since we're talking about Jaden Daniels here. Caroline texted me this while you guys were talking. But the Atlantic put out a QB tier list for this year. So
I think I saw it.
like you do with drafts, like tiers. And I just want to know, with talking about the studs with Jaden Daniels, where would you put Jaden
Tiers?
coming into this year? So it's not just last year. Like, where do you think you'll fall this year, tier-wise? Do you want me to give you like how this is laid out?
How many tiers? How many people are
Does
in
it
tier
go
one?
off?
There are
last year?
34. It kind of goes off last year, but it's tiers for this year. Like, these are the guys you want
That we
this
want
year.
this year.
Right. So there's 5 tiers with 34 quarterbacks.
Okay.
The first tier, so tier 1, is Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Matt Stafford.
That's a pretty solid tier 1.
Okay. Tier 2, this is where Jaden falls in.
Okay.
So it's Jaden, Herbert, Goff, Stroud, Hurts, Mayfield, Prescott, Love, Purdy.
That feels.
I take him over all of them.
Yeah.
But he's the first guy on the list, right? He's the first.
That's fair to me.
He's the first guy in tier
That's
2.
fair
That's
because
fair.
Yeah, he's the first guy in tier 2. But for our fans to understand, like tiers, when we do this for draft,
Yeah.
it's not like you're not arguing between Jaden and anybody else in that tier. It's
Yeah.
like pick your favorite flavor.
Yeah.
Like all these guys
Yeah.
are equal. You pick what you like personally. But
Yeah.
He's
Basically,
saying
what they're
basi-
saying with this is they want to see a little bit more. They want to see more from JD.
they're saying that it's just it's 1 year worth of
I think,
footage. I mean, you have to wait. They're basically saying we respect what we saw, so that's why you deserve tier 2.
Yeah.
But you can easily be up here,
Tier 1.
and then and we know
16
that.
right there.
more of those games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know that for.
I think that's a great point because, like, when we were saying, like, where would you tier him? Like, even just before this drill started, I was like, I'd probably, if I'm not being a homer, put him in tier 2.
I was saying tier 2.
Because those other guys have done it.
Over and
Those
over.
other guys are
over and
consistent
over and over
studs.
again. Yeah.
And his last year was tremendous, but he's got to do it
again.
to be in that group. Like, you're talking about multiple time MVP, multiple Super Bowl winners, like, and he had an awesome year, but he's got to do it more than one year.
Yeah, you got to do it more than one time.
which I think he can do.
I can say we're not being a homer.
Can I make an argument as a homer
Yeah.
for getting him up in that tier 1? I'd swap him and Stafford. I
Would
put
you?
Jaden in
You were
that
the
tier
one
1 and
who
pull
I
Stafford
was talking
down.
to this the other day. Now you're just
No, I'm not doing this. Like, I legitimately agree with this. A, because of Stafford's back. We don't know what's
is
going on
true.
there.
That
He's
is
getting
true.
older. So it's nothing against Stafford, but JD's younger. And dude, the legs. The legs really matter with
It's
Jaden,
true.
right? Just what it adds to an
All
offense.
those dudes in the first tier that you just mentioned are excellent scramblers.
Besides Joe
except,
Burrow.
except Stafford and Burrow,
Burrow.
who's the best pocket passer.
No,
right
I'm gonna
now,
say, but Burrow is nimble. It ain't like he got slow feet or something.
Yeah, his mobility in the pockets.
Yeah, like the way he maneuvers that pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, Burrow remind me a little, got a little more juice than Brady, and Brady, to say the least, like he didn't want to run, but when he did, he found a way to get a couple of yards here and there. You'd be like, well, wow. So
Well,
when I
he was
look
the
at-
best quarterback sneaker ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Never lost yours on a
I mean,
quarterback sneaker.
Jalen Hurts has something to say about that, I think.
Well, that's the tush push. Brady wasn't getting his butt cheek pushed. All right.
Butt cheek.
But I understand what you're saying there. I think that to me, it's like if you really wanted to, him and Stafford could flip.
Yeah.
But I think because of the experience of Stafford,
And
the
the Super
longevity,
Bowl.
the Super Bowl, I think it's almost like a tip of the cap.
It's almost grandfathered in.
Yeah.
It's like they grandfathered Matthew Stafford
Like
in.
who do I think's gonna have a better career? Like probably Jaden, but
Yeah.
like he's only done it for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where I'm like, I mean, you have a good argument, Jason. I don't want to like poo-poo that or anything.
Well, Hater Jason almost came out after the first preseason game because of the Halloween.
yeah,
But
it's
then
the season.
But then I realized like I can't be a hater anymore with this team because you look at like we're having an argument right now about should Jaden Daniels be in the same tier of quarterback as Patrick Mahomes. When have we been able to say this
Never.
as Washington fans?
It is crazy.
Never
Yeah.
in my lifetime.
And it's
So it's
crazy
like
that-
I don't care about a preseason game anymore.
Yeah.
Like I got Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean that's how special. How lucky are we to be able to cover him? Like
Well, it only took us 30 years.
Who got it better than us?
nobody.
No.
It only took 30 years.
But I think that's gonna do it for today's show.
All right.
Yeah, man. It's
been a long day.
Anyway,
All righty then.
Those tacos are creeping up on me a little bit. Maybe take a little nap.
Definitely got me.
It's nothing better than food than free food.
I mean, it's legit.
Yeah.
I just gave yourself one of these over here. Like,
Well, Jason, I looked over and he was doing like your dad at Christmas or whatever. That uncle. It's like kind of like their eyes are closing. I was like, he low key almost fell asleep back there.
It doesn't shock me.
So thank you so much for joining the show today, and that's it.